What's going on, everybody? This is the Blockchain Backer bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. And we did it. We made it through the Bitcoin block reward halving yesterday. Went off pretty flawless. I was watching it live. I was over on blockchain.com, kind of like watching the blocks update and the block height. And we got down to that final block, and it was like, okay, here we go. It should happen within the next 10 to 12 minutes, something like that. And then boom, right away it happened again. They found the next block and boom, it was halved. So, okay, great. Bitcoin, the block halving's over. It'll be another 4 years until that happens again. So there's really not a whole lot of excitement left to really talk about with Bitcoin in regards to any type of news or catalyst events at this time. So it'll be interesting to see how price plays out, right? So, you kind of speculate that, oh, well, there's no news that's going to happen that's going to cause the price to go up. But then at the same time, the whole point of the Bitcoin block reward halving is that, now the miners actually have half the selling power as they used to have. So I expect it would be kind of a gradual growth going on there. And as you can see right here, I actually have a Bitcoin chart up in front of us. This is from Bitstamp, but I wanted to kind of show you a little bit of what I'm anticipating for Bitcoin moving forward. Of course, we're going to look at the XRP price chart as well, because I think XRP is right on the verge of finally getting its breakout. We need to see that the 17.5 cent level does hold. Otherwise, it looks like we're at that moment. Now, I know we've said that quite a few times. It looks like it's at the moment. Is this the time where it's going to go? Well, that's the $1,000,000 question, isn't it, right? When, Moon? I think we all want to know, when is it going to happen? Is it going to happen now? And it does look like we're approaching that moment, especially when you look at a few other altcoins like Digibyte and 0x, ones that have already had a breakout above the previous highs. So I'm not saying those are things you should be buying right now, because they've already broken out, right? You've already kind of missed the train on those going up. So you're kind of buying top pricing. You're kind of buying when people are selling, if you're buying the top of a green candle. But what I'm saying is it's really positive to see that other altcoins are already starting their breakouts. And if you remember in the past, I've talked about this, not everything goes at the same time, but you look for those positive signs in the market that some coins are starting to actually break out. And we do have some big names that have already started. So it's really exciting to see that that's actually happening. But really, I wanted to kind of do a deeper dive into Bitcoin, and then we'll do a deeper dive into XRP for today's video. Right here, this is the Bitstamp chart, and it goes all the way back to 2011. This is called the Brave New Coin Liquid Index, and it's a BLX on TradingView, and it does go all the way back to 2010. The problem I have with this chart is that it only updates once per day, so it does miss some of the data points on here, but it's kind of cool to see how far back it goes. And in one of my videos last week, I showed how you could see when we overlaid these fractals on top of each other that Bitcoin seems to kind of follow exactly what it did in the past as far as like the extensions that it does from a percentage standpoint. Now, one other thing too, let me take that one off the screen. When we grab this one, you can see we haven't actually done the whole move yet. You can see that it actually got up to about this level right here. So right here, so there's still one remaining move left in Bitcoin to reach out to about $80,000 or so before this extension would be completed. So I want to go back over to this Bitstamp chart and actually grab it. So this is this one right down here on the bottom left side of the screen is the same one I've got right here. So that's this whole move right here. So I'm actually going to grab this and I'm going to overlay it on top of our current pricing right now. I kind of saw this when I was messing around with the charts this morning. And see this. Let me get it bumped up just a little bit to where it should be. All right, so I want to show you where this thing topped out at. It topped out right here, which is where we topped out for Bitcoin. Then it came down and bottomed down here, which is where we bottomed on Bitcoin. And we're going to kind of stretch this out a little bit to get a closer look at it. But you can see then after it hit this bottom, it bounced all the way up to right here. Let's go ahead and put a marker right there and look over here. Sure enough, we came right up to this region. After it hit this level, it fell all the way down here. So let's put a marker right there. Sure enough, after we hit this level, we came down to here. And then after we hit this level, we bounced up to right there. Let's put a marker on it. And what do you know? We've bounced up to right here. Then Bitcoin went sort of flat for a while. But at first, it made a little pullback down to right there. And what do you know? That's exactly what we've done right there. But you can clearly see there is this crazy wick action that happens right here. If that was to happen, you would see a Bitcoin fall down to approximately about $6,000, maybe a little bit under $6,000 if it did that same pullback. What's interesting about that is when we look at this, let me kind of thicken this one up a little bit. Well, actually, we'll make it a dashed line so you can see it. This price level, this one that it comes down and wicks to, happens to also be the price level that held Bitcoin for so long. It's that $6,000 price zone, that one that really held before Bitcoin capitulated back in 2018. So is that going to be a price level that we hold again? It'll be interesting. I just thought I would show this to you, and I'm really expecting, when I play my cards, right, everybody's going to have their own way they're going to play it. Some people are going to be expecting $100,000 Bitcoin, $300,000, $1 million Bitcoin. It's really up to anybody on how they want to play it. But for me, the way I am going to play it is I'm going to be treating this as if Bitcoin's top is going to come in at $80,000, and then that's the end for Bitcoin. Now, again, the $1 million question is how long is it going to take to get there, right? When I try to figure out timing on how long it could possibly take, I can't imagine it taking it longer than September, October, November of December of 2021, right? And I know that's like, oh my gosh, that's a year and a half from right now. I know, right? Well, it could only take 4 months, right? There's just no way to know exactly on the timing of that. But we look at the velocity or the speed at which it traveled up on its final push up, and we look at it, and it was a little bit faster than the previous one. So we have to kind of compare it to this. Will it move a little bit faster than this? I would think so. But as for now, from being able to do like technical analysis on Bitcoin regarding like picking short-term targets on how it's going to, have volatility while it's stuck in this range that it's in right now. And it's a big range. I'd probably consider this to be a whole range all the way between, 10,500 to 4,000. It's a giant range that it's stuck in. How it's going to exactly play out in that range, very, very, very difficult, if impossible, to figure that out. The only reference points we have really to look back on would be this move back here. That's really the only thing I can see that can give us any reference, and that maybe, just maybe, there would be like some type of flash dip down to $6,000 at some point. When we look at what has happened in the Bitcoin block halvings in the past, or the reward halvings in the past, is that dip comes several weeks after the reward halving has happened. So enough time has to psychologically pass for those to believe, well, the hype is over, and then there comes some type of a flash crash. But we can see from the past that those flash crashes do get bought up very quickly. So very difficult to know. I do own some Bitcoin. I won't be selling any of it. I will be waiting until I reach my price target, which would be $80,000. And that is where the blockchain backer would sell out of Bitcoin. Again, not trade advice, not financial advice, not investment advice. And I have to repeat that, right? If you're a longtime listener, you're like, oh, blockchain backer. I've heard you say that a million times. I get it, man. I get it. But you have to understand the channel's constantly growing. And then there's that 1% of people who are like, I am definitely taking this as financial advice. And I've got to be like, no, you're not. So I just have to repeat that for the new viewers that come along, and thank you to all the longtime listeners who tolerate me saying it every time. But okay, that's it for Bitcoin, right? I think we're just kind of stuck at this point. We could see some volatility. We could see some zero volatility. Very hard to know. The only thing we can really reference back to is what I see right there on that chart. And that's kind of how I'm playing it. I'm just going to wait it out. If Bitcoin wants to be volatile, go for it. Otherwise, I'm waiting for $80,000, and then I'll say peace. See you later to my Bitcoin. As for XRP, well, okay, so now we come down here and we say, well, what's going to happen next, right? So the things we're looking for is we're looking for an instant break back up. We're looking for a strong push back to the upside. If this thing sort of did something like this, up to right here, I would expect another fall back down to about 17.5, which wouldn't take out this previous low, right? So this low is still here. I wouldn't expect that low to actually break. I would just expect it to come down to touch it. So it just depends on what the price action is going to look like. If it sort of builds some type of a bear flag going on right in here, I would expect that price fall back to 17.5 cents. If it doesn't, if it just fires up and it gets above the 200-day moving average, I don't think we're ever going back down again. I think we have started the bull run. And if we do go to 17.5 cents, I expect the bull run to start from right there. So there's not a whole lot to say for XRP at the current time, except that we're just waiting for that 200-day moving average to clear, which the price level of that moving average right now is at about 22.4 cents. We want to clear that level, close a candle above that level, and then hold that level. Obviously we have to kind of keep our emotions in check right now because, when you let your emotions get too much of you, you can make bad decisions. And you don't want to let your emotions get let down at the same time. But of course, we're expecting, just like every single XRP bull run, it has never deviated from it, that whenever it goes like crazy. Every single time it is a straight line up. So it's getting exciting if we're actually at that moment when we look at these moving averages and how it played out in the past. So obviously we have to keep our emotions in check, but right now it's an exciting time. It's okay if we're going to go in and break that 200-day moving average. To me, that's the beginning of the bull run. That is where this thing starts firing into the upside. And every time we look at any type of bullish move that occurs with XRP, it is always extremely intense to the upside, and it happens very fast, and it's over before you know it. The exciting thing is you can see over here, like on 0x, how it has totally blasted up and taken out all of these levels. Look, we can go all the way back to December of 2018, way back here, and 0x has cleared all these levels and taken it out. Same with Digibyte, right? I don't want to give Digibyte too much press coverage or, coverage on the channel because there's so many bots out there shilling it right now. I'm scared of my audience actually buying Digibyte at this level. But you can even see here 0x actually breaking out and going. And 0x, of course, is a coin that is on Coinbase. I'm also not promoting that you buy this. It has already gone up. Sure, it could go up more. I don't know. I don't do extreme technical analysis on this chart. But buying after it's already exploded to the upside means you missed the move. But you can even see down here, right? It actually had to battle against the 200, get knocked back, and then it fired right through the 200. Which is what hopefully XRP is planning on doing right now as well. So, all right, guys, that's going to be it. We have made it through the Bitcoin block reward halving. It is now day 1, day 2 of only 6.25 Bitcoins being rewarded per block found. It's an exciting time. There's a lot of eyes on cryptocurrency right now. We have so many things going on fundamentally in the economy with the money printing and everything. It's just kind of this whole build up that it just seems like that moment is right on the brink of us. And I know we've had our emotions teased for a very long time regarding that, but that moment appears to be before us. There seems to be a catalyst or news event to go along with the price action that we could potentially be seeing, and that's pretty exciting. So hey, I want to thank you so much for watching my channel. I appreciate each and every one of you, all of you who leave comments, all of you who interact on my Twitter, giving me the thumbs up on the videos. It all means a lot to me, and I want to thank you very much. So let me go ahead and wrap this up. Please like this video, give it a thumbs up. Like I just mentioned, I always look at it. Please subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed, and that way you can be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice and I am not a financial advisor, but if you ever need a pick-me-up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.